God, he's coming back. Get out of here.
Hey guys, what's up? Gonna change this real quick. What's up, Hercules, my man? What's going on, dude? How are you tonight? What's up, Scav? Hey, man. Hey, guys. So, as you can tell, I am not in the office, so to speak, tonight. Hey, Inkling, how are you? How are you doing? I am not in the office. This is just a fairly short announcement stream. I honestly didn't know who all would turn up, just being that we're not playing any games tonight, not planning on having it be a big thing. Just figured I'd talk for a little bit. So, basically, there's no real easy way for me to say this. So I think what I'm just going to do is say it, and then I'll just explain kind of a little bit more. So unfortunately, I'm going to be taking an indefinite break from streaming. And it was not a decision I made lightly. I hope you guys know that too. But it is one that I put a lot of thought into. And my hope is that we can just kind of chat. I made a big note for myself, but I wrote it like an essay kind of thing. So I'm not going to just sit here and read it to you guys. But I basically figured we'd just kind of chat for a little while. Maybe I didn't put any sort of time goal on this or anything like that. I didn't practice this in front of a mirror or anything. I just put down my thoughts earlier on today, and they were thoughts I've been thinking about for a little while now. So, but I just want to put them on paper. So hopefully I knew it. Sorry, you got me, Inkling. But yeah, they're thoughts that I've been having for a while, but they're things that I wanted to make sure I put down so that I don't mess anything up. Because even though I feel like I can pretty accurately speak to my feelings and stuff like that, I just want to make sure that everything was out there, and so hopefully I can answer. I mean, if anybody has any questions, obviously I'll answer them for you, but I might be able to answer them just in going over my notes that I'm doing here. So basically, I don't know that I'll make it back to streaming. It's not a guaranteed thing that this break will end. It's not a guaranteed thing that it'll be infinite either. So I don't really know at this point. But in the meantime, I don't plan to disappear from the face of the earth. I hope you guys know that. I fully plan on supporting the streamers that I've been supporting, the ones who are still streaming. I fully plan on stopping in to those streams and still being there and retweeting their stuff. And I'll still be around on Twitter and Discord and all that. And so one of my hopes is that with the extra time I have, you guys know I don't spend a ton of hours per week streaming, but it is at least a significant amount of time, and I'm hoping that maybe I can find some time in this extra time block that I'll have now that I can try my hand at more writing, which I've done in the past, but haven't really found a consistent schedule to be able to publish stuff at. I might even try some video editing stuff that I've had fun with doing in the past. It's one of those things that's been kind of time consuming, but I haven't really been able to do because I stream at least 3 nights a week. And then, and the other thing too is that just because I'm taking a break from streaming, what I mean is I'm taking a break from a streaming schedule. So I'm no longer scheduling myself 3 days a week or 4 days a week or whatever it might be. But it doesn't mean that that I'm not going to ever have an impromptu stream, So I still think that I'm going to have some streams from time to time, which are just kind of sporadic, and they're not really going to be okay, you can expect to see me on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It might just be something like, hey, I'm going to stream in an hour. If you can make it, you can make it. If not, hey, I still love you. So I'm not getting rid of my streaming equipment, my computer, nor my incredible sense of humor that I have. So don't worry about any of that stuff. I'm still me. I'll still have all this equipment that I've had. And shockingly, we haven't had any weird hiccups with the audio or the video, the webcam. stuff for a long time. I don't know what the heck fixed that, but it's good. Ultimately, I have to do what's best for you. Much respect to your decision, man. I know I'm not alone in appreciating your honesty. Scav, that means a lot, dude. It means a lot. And as I said, I mean, I fully intend on, I've been frequenting your streams lately. I fully intend on keeping that trend up. It's been a pleasure, and you got some things will probably make a little more sense to you guys too, like as I kind of go through this. So that's the long story short version of it. But I'm just going to kind of go and tell you guys, in case you guys have any questions about like why I might be doing this. And then in case you want to know too, like sometimes it's interesting. I've been surprised at like when I've been streaming, how many people ask me, like a ton of people have been asking me like, hey, when did you start streaming? And they want to know like a little bit about the history of the channel, which is like super fascinating to me that people are interested in that. So I'll go back and I'll talk about that too. But Hercules, I also appreciate you, man. You know that. So, and I've got some nice things to say about you, good sir. So, but yeah, basically I'll just go through the whys right now. So there were 4 main reasons I could think of why I have to do this, unfortunately. The first thing is scheduling. Okay. And I told Hercules this before, but I have a various number of responsibilities, and I don't mean to say that like I'm like the busiest person alive, because I'm not. But sometimes I feel that way, and I know everybody's busy. But these are some of the things that I have to do that I can't, like streaming doesn't excuse me from them, and that's working. I work a full-time job. I also coach. So I coach outside of my full-time job, high school track and cross country. That's 5 days a week for about 8 months out of the year. So, I mean, that's a significant time sink. But also just trying to help out around the house. Mrs. PTGG can't do it all on her own, and she has kind of been doing that for a while now. So that's kind of, again, something that I should be responsible for. And then I don't know if it's a responsibility, but I've been slacking on my sleep for a little while too. So, even though I set my own streaming schedule, it's still a set amount of time that I have to be in front of a webcam playing video games where I can't do anything else, So, for instance, it's not an issue with video games. It's more the issue of just being persistently in front of a webcam. So, like, if I want to play a game on my Xbox over here behind me, off stream, I can do laundry and play video games at the same time, because I can pause whenever I want and go fold laundry, and nobody will care because I'm the only one invested in it, right? So that's kind of the idea in that. But the other issue is time. I only typically spend somewhere between 9 and 10 hours per week streaming, but that with my scheduling conflicts I've had, that like seriously cuts down on the time that I get to spend with my wife and even my family when they come into town. So because a lot of times I'll leave for work in the morning, a lot of times it'll end up being something like, it just depends. I mean, lately I've been getting out of bed late, and it has a lot to do with streaming. But if on nights that I don't stream, I usually will try to leave home around 9:15, 9:30. So I leave home around 9:30 in the morning, and then I don't get back after practice sometimes until about 6:15 or 6:30. So I'm gone for a pretty long period of the day, and then I try to stream by 8 o'clock. So basically, that's a night that I don't get to spend any time with the missus. So the time commitment of streaming is never quite understood unless you've streamed, to be honest. Definitely. I'm going to talk about how I underestimated this later on. But yeah, dude, it's mad respect to the people that have been doing it for a long time. And there are people out there who stream daily for like years straight. I don't know how they do it, to be honest. It's just a lot of dedication, and it's just, well, and to be honest, I mean, the fact is, a lot of those people that do that, they don't do anything else, and that's just something that is not in the cards for me. So, and I fully respect that. Like, I'll talk more about Twitch in general, but yeah, like I don't mean to sound like condescending or anything to anybody who does that. That's not my intention at all. But another thing is finances. Some of you guys know, but like I went to college for 4 years at a private school. It is like my education is very important to me, but it also put me in a significant amount of student loan debt. And so student loan debt creates like an enormous opportunity cost for literally anything that you do in life. Because basically, if I sit down to play video games, even if, whether I'm streaming or not, if I sit down and play video games, those are hours spent that I could be like spending working to pay off my student loan debt. So like that one is super personal, but like because I care about you guys, I figured I would share that with you just in full transparency, right? So, one of my dreams and one of, our dreams, I guess, my wife too, is that there will be a day in our lives when we're not like grandparents, but well before we're grandparents, but where we don't have to make payments on a house or on student loans. So unfortunately, that means that my time is better spent doing things like freelance projects, which I'm starting to do more often now. So, and then this one, the last reason, I guess, and this one's super hard to talk about because the last thing I want to do is make anybody feel like I don't appreciate them being here. But a lot of times, especially I don't know how to put it, especially early on, it's usually a thing that early streamers have to worry about. And like as you get more established, it becomes less and less of a concern. But empty rooms, so I want to just say this, like, because again, I don't want anybody to feel like they weren't supportive enough or they weren't enough for me, because that's like the furthest thing from the truth. Because like even like I think I've said this before to you guys, but like having even one person in my stream for like, let's say I stream from 8 to 11, like a typical stream, even if I have one person come in and stay in my stream, whether they stay in for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, like it's mind blowing to me that somebody would choose to spend their time with me amongst all the other things they could do. Like I'm super appreciative of that. And so that's like, that's why it's so hard for me to even articulate this. But like, I'm so very thankful to the people that do. But at the end of the day, like, if you stream to a nearly empty room or sometimes an empty room, like I have plenty of times even recently, it can sometimes wear down on you, and it can be hard to find the motivation to like hit the start streaming button. Because one of the things is like one of your goals, and it's almost a universal goal across every Twitch channel in existence, is that people want to grow, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think as long as people are thankful of the streamers, of the viewers that come into their stream, I think as long as people realize that those are real people and they're thankful of them, I don't think there's any problem in wanting your channel to grow, because a lot of people truly just want to build a community. It's about just having fun and like introducing people to each other and video games and stuff like that. So, which is to me what it's all about. And I hope I've done a good job over the last however long you guys have all known me. I hope I've done a good job of making that known as a community goal. But basically, about 5 months ago is when I was actually affiliated. It was near the end of May. And since our channel got affiliated, we pretty much flatlined on like all major streaming analytics. And just to throw this out there too, like I never wanted Part-Time Gamer Guy to become full-time Gamer Guy. Like that was never in my goals, like by any means. But I would be lying if channel growth wasn't like something that I was aiming and actively planning investing in. So it's so hard, man. Everything you're talking about I can truly relate to. Yeah, dude, I'm sure you can. And I honestly I almost reached out to you just on like Twitter DMs or Discord or something, just to say like, hey man, what about what do you do when this happens, you know? And I thought about doing that with other streamers too, but the last thing I wanted to do was burden anybody, you know, because I know a lot of people are trying to focus on positivity in their space, and I don't want to, like, I'm all about positivity. Like, I don't want to bring anything down for anybody. And so like it was such a tough decision to like try to decide if I wanted to reach out to somebody and be like, hey, you know, I'm struggling with this in my community. What have you done maybe to push through this, or have you been able to push through this, or whatever, you know? In the end, ultimately, I decided to just kind of keep it to myself, you know, but yeah. So, now that said too about the growing the community and everything, like I know that I'm responsible for 100% of that. And one of the things that, like, there are many things, like I did a litany of things wrong, or, you know, I should put that in quotes, wrong, when it comes to streaming and growing a community. And I'll talk about that in just a bit, but I would never turn away your messages, man, because every streamer on earth has had these feelings and issues. I appreciate it, Scav. I do. And yeah, I think you're right. I feel like everybody has gone through that at some point. At least I have to imagine, right? I mean, I don't know many people that just picked up a controller, or, you know, started tapping away on their keyboard, and all of a sudden they were, you know, they reached every one of their goals, you know, without any ever struggling at all. So, but yeah. So those are the reasons why, unfortunately, I had to step away. You know, and I hope, as I said before, I hope you guys, like, I've had such incredible support. Like Hercules has been there since pretty much day one. Inkling's been there for a long time too, and so like I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, and like just know that I love you guys. All right, like that's the main thing that I want you guys to take away from this, is that like you guys were amazing. There was like nothing you guys did wrong or could have ever done wrong, right? Like this is 100% my decision, and 100% like all of the decisions that have been made were all mine. So I hope you guys understand that, and just know too, like I'm going to continue being here for you guys, and like I want to still be your friend, and like I don't want to disappear from your guys' lives, and I hope you guys don't disappear from mine. So that said, I do, if in case anybody is interested at all, I figured we could talk just a little bit about the history of the channel, because as I said, like some people are actually interested in that, which is, like I said, I didn't know anybody would ever be interested in that, you know? Like, it's so funny whenever somebody asks me, like, oh, dude, yeah, how long have you been streaming? I'm like, wait, somebody actually cares how long I've been streaming for? Like, really? So it's crazy, but I just figured in case anybody's interested, I'll talk about the history of, like, the channel and stuff like that. I completely understand, my dude. That's why you're my dude. That's why you're my dude, Hercules. But yeah, so a look back on the channel, basically, like, this whole thing started, like, my whole Twitch channel started around the idea and concept of this video game club that I had. So this video game club idea, which I called the Part-Time Gamers Club, basically, I think it started... Well, I'll just talk about the idea first. So, like, I never actually intended to stream, really ever. And in fact, like, not even that long ago, I'd say just a little over a year ago, I thought that Twitch was, like, super lame. And, like, I'm laying it on, like, I'm just being totally honest. I'm not holding anything back. But, like, I thought Twitch was really lame because I always wondered, like, why would anybody want to watch somebody else play a video game when they could just play a video game themselves? You know, like that blew my mind. But I knew Twitch was like a huge website. Like I knew the numbers on like the traffic and the number of people that go to Twitch every single day and every minute of every day. And yet I'm like, how is this even successful? So I fully underestimated the power of Twitch to begin with. But I was the same way. I'm so glad to hear, because I know there are other people out there that think that too. But yeah, actually, like, even during that train of thought, like, prior to me launching the game club, I actually, like, so my Xbox, you can kind of see it. It's, like, right here where the tip of my finger is. That's my Gears of War 4 Special Edition Xbox, right? So I hit the start stream button on the Twitch app randomly one day, and I was like, whatever, you know. I had my Kinect, which is like right there. Had my Kinect, so you can see my face. I had my my Xbox headset on, so my audio was total garbage, and I started streaming, and it was and I actually thought like, well, I don't really watch Twitch, but I'm sure other people do, and so they're probably going to come to my stream, and I'm going to maybe a lot of viewers. And I was like awful. I was a terrible streamer, and like the first stream I ever did, it was Fallout 4, the very first one I ever did, Fallout 4, straight from the Xbox on the Twitch app. I had somebody come in, and they were like chatting to me, just kind of chatting back and forth. And I was like, see, look, this is my first stream. Somebody's already here. You know, I didn't even do anything. I didn't even advertise that I was going live. And then near the end of the stream, like I get ready to like sign off, and they're like, oh, hey, yeah, man, it's funny because I'm Nick, but I have many IRL friends who are also Nicks. And so he's like, oh, yeah, hey, man, it's Nick, in case you didn't know. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So, like, I was streaming, didn't announce anything, and it was one of my, like, good friends who was watching me and commenting on all this stuff. So, yeah, so that kind of, like, brought me back down. But yeah, so I fully underestimated how, like, Twitch even worked. But yeah. Anyway, to like talk more about the origin story, basically, like, I had seen, I'm familiar with book clubs, and in fact, like, my mother-in-law actually is a part of a book club, and I was interested in starting that idea with a video game, with like a video game concept. But basically, if you're not familiar with what a book club is, let me put it this way: if you've ever been in a book club, or you know, like, or you've had a literature class in like high school, then you know basically how they work. But if you haven't been, basically the group like meets. The group will select a book, and then they meet in person to talk about the things they've been reading. And you know, book clubs that take place outside of school obviously doesn't happen in school, but like, they will sometimes meet together and bring food, and they'll have dinner together. They'll have snacks, drinks, and they'll just have a conversation. It's just like a lot of hanging out, you know? It's just a lot of hanging out. There's some food sometimes, and you talk about the book, right? And so you get to dive into something that you're really interested in on like a deeper level. And a lot of times, like, you can end up relating some of that stuff to your life. You know, you can say like how, yeah, this book reminded me of the time, you know, back when I was young and I did this, you know, or something like that. And then you end up learning something about somebody because you guys read the same book together. You know, that was my idea in like the video game club, but I knew that it was going to be hard to find people to meet in person, because it seems like everybody has pretty much a different schedule. So once I had that idea, I thought, okay, well, surely we can do that online, right? Like, we can do that on the internet. So I started out by going to Twitter. That was like where I first started. I created the PTGG account on Twitter. I chose that over Facebook because I just thought that might be the easiest platform to get started. But I fully underestimated like how hard it was going to be to get the word out on what I wanted to do. And like, I realized I don't know anything about growing a Twitter following. I don't know anything about growing a social media following, like, period. So I ended up going with some tools like that would help me grow my following. I basically just kind of searched on Google, like, how do you get more Twitter followers, you know? And so some of the things that came up were like, you know, there were legit ways to like get people to like come to, you know, follow your page and basically whatnot. But all of them were really slow. And then of course there were like the super like fake ways, like you could pay somebody to basically create a bunch of accounts and follow you. And I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely not doing that. I want my followers to be real people, but surely there's got to be a better way than just like tweeting things out and hoping people find them, you know? But, you know, I was looking through my DMs on Twitter a while ago, and I realized you DM'd me way before I started streaming about your club. Kind of blew my mind. Oh, dude. Yes, that's where it all started, man. That is where it all started. So in my search, though, for growing a Twitter following, I came across something called Crowdfire. So if you guys are interested, I don't even know that I can fully recommend Crowdfire. But if you guys are ever interested in growing like a a social media following. It does work to an extent. So, and I'll explain why, but basically like what it is it's a tool that tells you like what things to like. Oh, wow. We got a new follower with a very interesting name. Anal underscore anal underscore anal underscore anal underscore. Wow. Thank you for that follow. Oh, my goodness. Well, heck of a way to, you know, not with a whimper, but with a bang, we're going out of here. So, yeah. So, anyway, Crowdfire. I was like, what the heck was I talking about? I wasn't talking about anal, I promise. It was Crowdfire. That's what it was. Crowdfire. So Crowdfire basically is like one of those tools that tells you like what things you should post, what things you should, like, what things you should retweet, people you should follow or who you should unfollow. And all this is basically supposed to increase your, like, the impressions you get on your posts, increase your number of followers and all that. So, but one of the problems with that, okay, well, actually, okay, as I said before, so I wanted to get a Twitter following, but the whole reason I wanted to have a Twitter following, other than just getting the word out, is I knew having followers is a way to legitimize yourself, right? And the last thing I didn't want somebody to, like, I was afraid that people would see my brand new account, see that I have like 5 followers, and be like, okay, that's clearly a robot. Like that part-time gamer guy is a robot account, and I'm going to block it. So like I didn't want people to think that. So I wanted to legitimize my Twitter as quickly as possible. So that was what like I tried doing, and that was like, let's grow it up. So one of the things that Crowdfire wanted me to do, though, because I was brand new and I didn't know, it wanted me to do auto DMs, and I was like, okay, that sounds kind of annoying, but like this thing's telling me to do it. So, yeah. So I created like the auto DM that always got sent out every time somebody followed me, and then I quickly realized that people hate auto DMs, and they should. They're terrible. So I pretty quickly got rid of auto DMs. Probably not quick enough, but I did get rid of them pretty quick. And then I actually but I realized that for some people actually did respond to the auto DMs. It was very low, like maybe 3% of people that they got sent out to. But like I realized some people are actually responding to these. So I thought, okay, well maybe the DMs are good. It's just the auto DM that's bad. So what I decided to do is like when somebody would follow me, I would type out a message to them by hand, and I would send it out. And I thought, okay, well this will still let them know I'm wanting to start a video game club, but it's gonna let them know that like I'm a real person because I'm using their like Twitter handle, and I'll say something about their profile picture, you know, or something like that. Like some people had Dragon Ball Z profile pictures, and I'm like, dude, sweet profile picture, love Dragon Ball Z, you know, just to prove that I was a real person, right? And like I said, I still don't know that was the right way, but I did learn some valuable things, and that was that people thought it was a good idea, and that I also realized people have pretty good ideas of their own. So it was actually through, I don't know if it was an auto DM. I think it was an auto DM. I sent an auto DM to somebody, and they basically said unfollow or something like that back. That was all they said, unfollow. And I was like, oh, shoot. Well, was it because the auto? So I responded back and said, was it because the auto DM? I promise I'm a cool guy. You know, and so we got to talking and whatever, told him about the idea. He said once he finally listened, like he said he really liked my idea. And he was the one who taught me about Discord. I didn't even know Discord existed before this guy told me about it. And he's like, yeah, dude, it'd be a perfect place for your game club. So Discord. But I'm leaving work, sir. Going to be MIA for a bit. If I can't make it back in time, I just want to say that just about everything you've talked about, I felt as well. I wish you the best in everything you're trying to accomplish, whether you're streaming or not. I've always enjoyed my time here. Well, Scav, dude, appreciate you, sir. I appreciate the kind words. And, dude, yeah, we'll chat. I'll send you something in Discord. We're definitely going to stay in touch, though. I mean, I'm not going to, I feel like I'm going to say that to everybody, but, like, it's just that's kind of a given. Like, we're all going to stay in touch. I'm not going anywhere, you know? So, but yeah, dude, I've appreciated having you here. Definitely. you were one of the people, along with Hercules, who convinced me to do KOTOR. So there you go. And no regrets about KOTOR. So, the other cool thing about the Twitter DMs, though, is like a lot of people told me that it was a cool idea, which kind of like legitimized my idea. But also, like, a lot of people told me that they thought my idea was really cool, but that they weren't going to be able to buy a bunch of games and stuff, like, to keep up with the video game club. And so then I got to thinking, like, I had been thinking about it, like, maybe I can stream when I play our game of the month. Like, maybe I can stream that, and that sort of legitimized that idea too, and that people need to be able to have some way to experience the game without buying it. So KOTOR, no regrets. I'd play it again. I'd play it again right now. But yeah, so that sort of like got me into thinking more about streaming, not just like streaming randomly. So once I decided to go for the club, I did start sending people messages on Twitter. I created my Twitch, and one of my goals was to become, like, once I learned about Twitch's programs and stuff, I was like, hey, I want to be an affiliate, because I thought that would, like, I wanted to become an affiliate because I thought that would show people, once again, that I'm not a robot, right? So our club in numbers grew very quickly. In the first couple months that it was up and running, our Discord was up and running. I think at our peak, we were right around 90 people, which I was, like, super proud of. I mean, like, super proud. I was like, I cannot believe we hit almost 100 people in, like, a month of trying to get this thing going. So the idea was a couple months in planning prior to opening the Discord. But once I opened the Discord, within a month, it was, like, almost 90 people. So our first game ended up being Prey back in November of 2017. And that was the first time I actually streamed. That was like my first month of actual streaming too. So when I say actual streaming, I mean like going online with the intention of having people watching me, you know? So after Prey, we moved on to Far Cry Primal in December. We did Hitman in January, and then we did a slew of co-op games in February for Valentine's Day. During those, was it 4 months? 4 months of games, and then there were, like I said, like 1 or 2 months of planning before that. I realized that there were only a small number of people talking about each game when it was actually the active game of the month. And then those that were talking about the game with me were talking about the game in the past tense, not in the present tense. So, like, it became obvious to me that that's when I first started watching. Wait, was it Prey? Was Prey your first game, or was it Far Cry Primal? It was, like, pretty much right away, though. Like, when I actually started streaming, I remember that, Hercules. But, like, I realized that I was pretty much the only person actually playing the game at the time we were playing. And so I was like, okay, well, it is cool to talk about games, but, like, the whole idea was to, like, experience them together, you know? And so I thought, well, I thought about it for a long time. I was like, do I just keep going with it? Or, you know, what do I do? Prey, nice. That's what I thought. I thought it was, like, the very first game I actually intended on streaming, and... yeah, you were there. So that's why I call you a day one, man. You've been there since day one. I don't even care when my account was created. You're day one. So, but yeah. So, like I was saying, I knew that people were talking about stuff, but it was really only just a couple people, and participation was really low. And so I thought, well, I'm putting a decent amount of thought into all this stuff, and it'd be something I could very easily cut back out, and, you know, because I'm really the only one who's participating the way that I had hoped people would participate, but, like, I understand why. You know, the thing is it's hard because not everybody can buy games and stuff like that, but even if they want to watch all the streams to participate in the conversation, like, it's hard to be at somebody's stream every time, you know? And that was one of the things I was like, it's just too hard, you know, like, to do that. So I decided to in early March. Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead of myself here. So, but I did notice that like when I was streaming, like I had a select few number of people, Hercules included, who kept coming back to the stream like over and over again. And so like I thought that, wow, this is really cool. You know, like I'm having really good conversations with the people when they're here, and you know, it seems like that conversation is flowing better than what the conversation is on Discord. So even though Discord was like my priority, it was like Twitch was already kind of overtaking that in terms of participation. So in early March, like I made the decision to end the Part-Time Gamers Club and I moved into streaming exclusively. So it was not, again, another decision I didn't take lightly, but it was one that I was pretty excited about because I saw more growth in my Twitch community than I did in the Gamers Club community. And that was my whole thing, is I just want to share, you know, my love of video games and friendship and stuff with other people. So it made sense to me to just go ahead and move into Twitch. So in April of this year, 2018, that was when I forced myself to make streaming schedules and actually try to stick to them, at least as best as I could. I made stream schedules for basically a month in advance. Like beginning of the month, I'd say, okay, these are the days that I have track meets, so I can't do those days. These are the days I'm free, so here's my schedule. And then I put it on Twitter and sometimes in Discord and yeah. So, but I knew that like a streaming schedule was like a huge part of growing a community. So that's why I wanted to do that. I also stopped. It was around that time that I stopped using Restream, which is what I was using so that people could watch my game club streams on whatever platform they want. So they could watch on YouTube. I was streaming to YouTube, Mixer, and Twitch all at the same time. I stopped and I just went to Twitch exclusively because I thought, well, if everybody's going to be a community, they actually need to be on the same platform so they can talk to each other. So yeah, that's when I went to Twitch exclusively. So sometimes I'll tell people if they ask like when I started streaming, I'll tell them like I didn't start seriously streaming until April, because everything prior to April was me trying to improve my stream for the sole purpose of advancing my Part-Time Gamers Club. So, but from April on is when I was actually had the goal of becoming like Twitch affiliate. All of my goals were Twitch related specifically. So, it was my goal to become an affiliate like all along. And the reason I wanted to, as I said before, was so that I could legitimize like myself as part-time gamer guy for the gaming club. You know, I figured if people saw that I was an affiliate, they wouldn't think that I was a robot, you know, and they'd actually want to join the club because it sounded like fun. So, but once the club was shut down, I decided, you know, I wanted to be an affiliate because I wanted to be a streamer. So, I didn't actually announce that goal out loud though until like mid-May. And so that was like a full month and a half where I was streaming regularly and nothing really changed. And then I announced on Twitter and on Twitch that like my goal was to become an affiliate. And it was crazy because I saw people like, to me, it was a flood of people. I mean, to a big streamer, they'd think it was like nothing, but I saw a flood of people come into my stream, and I was like blown away because people were like, "Your goal is to be an affiliate? Well, I'm going to help you get there." And they were just like, they took my goal and like made it their goal, and it blew me away. And within like 3 or 4 streams, I got the affiliate invite. So I was like crazy happy about that, and just couldn't believe that people were so kind like that. And like I said, I was kind of floored about it. So it was crazy. But yeah. So once, gosh, I should have got some water for myself. I'm talking a ton, man. I'm like, I feel like a high school girl right now. the girls I coach on the track team, they wouldn't even be able to hang with me right now. But yeah. So once I became an affiliate, I decided like I needed to kind of carve out my niche, because like if you're not a streamer on Twitch like yourself, then you don't realize like how overwhelming it is to be one streamer fish in like an endless sea of streamer fish. So I knew that I needed something to set me apart, and so like I started going with the branding that I did. You know, we were Part-Time Gamer Guy. Everything became oh, look at that. Thank you. We have some water from the missus. Oh, that's good. But yeah, so like everything became office themed. If you guys noticed, it's because you're a great person. I always had a good time during the stream, dude. You're an even better person, man. Let's be honest. Let's be fully honest here, Hercules. But dude, I seriously like all of your kind words. Like I don't know that I can express how much they've meant to me over the last like year. You know, I don't know that words are enough. So, but that's why I said, man, if you're in Indianapolis, we're meeting up, and I'm going to do my best to show you around the city. So, count on it. And you're going to come over for dinner. So, and that's final. You don't have a say in that. That's going to happen. So, but yeah, so, where was I at? Oh, right, my niche. I had to find my niche, okay? So I wanted to be like part-time gamer guy, kind of like, you know, oh, yes, I'm a guy who, he works in the office, right? And part of his work is playing video games, right? So I had my office background and like my green screen and all that stuff I added, and I started becoming more office themed. You know, when people would come into the stream, I might say, welcome to the office. I might, you know, my Twitch subscriptions became like manager, like level 1 was manager, or tier 1 was manager, tier 2 was like not supervisor, but something like that, and then 3 was like executive, you know, so they were all business themed, stuff like that. So but the other thing too was like I noted, nice, there you go, put it on the calendar. So but yeah, the other thing like I wanted to do was like I knew the types of games I wanted to play, and this was some of the things that I knew I was doing quote unquote wrong as far as growing a community. You know, and excuse me, I knew like the two main things that are wrong when you're a brand new streamer like I was, or at least a small time streamer like I was and am. I didn't want to be a part of a stream team. That was like, I was very adamant about that. And I don't knock anybody that is a part of a stream team, but like my reasons were very clear, cut and dry. Like I knew that I wanted people to come into my stream because they wanted to be there. Like I didn't want to be on a stream team because part of the problem, like if you join Team MZ or something like that, like a lot of those teams, people only join your streams to watch because they're expecting you to watch their streams later. So basically what happens is it's support for support kind of thing, and like having people in your stream lurking like boosts you up higher so that you're higher in, like if you go to a game directory, like if you went to The Witcher 3 and you had 50 viewers and I only had 40 viewers, your 50 viewers, you'd show up higher on the list than I would. So that's like what stream teams do, is they boost people so that they're easier to find, and stuff like that. So, but I really wanted, like I was adamant about that. I wanted people in the stream who wanted to be there. So that's why I was adamant about not joining a stream team. And then the other thing was too, I didn't want to stick to one game. Like PUBG or Fortnite. Again, same thing. I'm not trying to like crap on anybody who sticks to one game, but like I just knew that like I wasn't going to survive doing that. I get burnout on games if I play them long enough, and that's especially true with any games that lack narratives like PUBG or Fortnite. If it doesn't have an engaging storyline, I'm gonna get burnout on it at some point. So really, there are so few games that I wouldn't get burnout on. Like I just couldn't, unless I became like a Witcher 3 streamer exclusively. You know, I don't think I could stick to one game and not get burnout. But yeah, so and I didn't want to have a super unenthusiastic gameplay stream, even if I was like halfway decent at the game. So. And for the record, like I wouldn't play PUBG or Fortnite anyway. If I was going to do a game like that, it'd be Gears of War. so just so we're clear on that, I would be a Gears of War streamer, because that's my game. So, but yeah, anyway, I was always drawn to RPGs, because I like their stories, but, and creation and stuff like that. I love customization and all that stuff. So like choosing RPGs was easy for me, and I thought like the natural highs and lows of like the story-driven narrative fit perfectly with like having conversations and engaging gameplay at the same time. So I figured that would be my focus. Is I would pretty much only play RPGs, and then we would have conversation and hang out and just kind of chat. And yeah, so I thought I'd get burnt out on Borderlands 2, but I've got over 3,000 hours on it. Dude, that's crazy. It's still playing it. Nice. Dude, that's the thing though. Like, if there's a game out there that you're interested in, I'm not gonna say that you're dumb for wanting to play a game for that long. Like, no way, dude. That's great that you found a game that means that much to you. You know, like that's awesome. So for me, it would like I said, it would probably be The Witcher. Or I could probably I could spend a lot of time in Oblivion or Skyrim or games like that, more like open world games. And Borderlands 2 actually is pretty dang open world, so you'd have plenty of things to explore in that as well. So, but yeah, so we're kind of I feel like we're kind of on the same page in that aspect. But yeah, so like the type of streams I do, some people call them chill streams, which I'm fine with. I've heard some people knock chill streams. Like they don't like that term, chill streams. But the fact of the matter is, like, I'm not the type of person, like my personality, I can't put on an act and be like super high energy for over 3 hours. Like, I can't do it, and I was not going to even attempt it because I knew it'd be fake, right? Like, I don't know. Some people are like that without ever having to act, right? But for me, like, I'm a pretty laid back dude. I get pretty amped up from time to time, but like, I'm pretty laid back. And so it was not going to work for me to just be one of those people that's screaming into the microphone, going crazy for over 3 hours straight. So, and I know from personal experience, like, I can't even hang out in streams for very long with somebody who's always on 11 like that. So, like, great YouTuber, Jacksepticeye, like, I can't hang out in his streams for that long. His energy wears me out. Like, great streamer, great YouTube guy, and he's freaking hilarious. But, like, I can stand that kind of energy for about 10 to 15, maybe even 20 minutes, and then I'm just exhausted. Like, dude, I'm exhausted. So I wasn't going to be able to do that, and I know that, like, I personally can't watch that myself. So I just wanted to be genuine, and I hope you guys saw that. But people would see, right? Yes, dude, people are so good at that. So good at that. So yeah, then basically, like, after we'd kind of determined that, that was like, when did we start that? Probably, I mean, I probably made all that decision like early July, maybe even late June, when we started kind of doing RPG focused playthroughs and stuff like that, or something with an RPG type narrative, you know, a real engaging storyline, where decisions could be made, you know, so we can talk about the decisions and stuff like that. So I think it was probably around there. And then basically I noticed, again, I'm not trying to get, like, again, this is not all stats, but it's one of those things where, like, I look at stats as kind of a gauge for me, and that's what all streamers do. Like, we're just being honest. I'm just being honest for all streamers. Like, we love our communities, like the people who care about their communities. Like, we really, really care about our communities. And I promise, like, when you're there, we notice that, right? Like, we notice you're there and we make a note of it. Like, God, I love that person. You know, I love so-and-so was here with me today. And I promise, like, we stash that away and that means a lot to us. But at the end of the day, we also will look at statistics and be like, okay, how do we make our community grow? And that's really the only thing we have to go off of our statistics, right? So, like, I looked at my statistics through the month of September, and I noticed that mostly everything was kind of just back on the decline. Very slow decline, because I'm not a big streamer anyway, so it's not like I was ever up here, right? I mean, I'm a small streamer. I like it like that, and I was here, and we just took a slow decline basically all the way through the month of September. And I had a chat with the missus, and I basically told her it was, you know, it was a little disheartening to see, because I'm spending some money on equipment and games and stuff like that, and it is a little disheartening when you're giving up quality time with your wife or your family or whatever, and yet your community isn't growing in the meantime. Like, it's one of those things where, like, if I sacrificed a little bit of time, it would it's not worth it, because I don't know how to put this. Super hard to discuss this kind of stuff sometimes, but like, I don't want to miss time with my wife on doing things, but it makes it a little bit easier, I guess, to say if I can see like a community also being built, because I feel like that's something that, and she's been a part of the community too, right? So she grows with the rest of the community. We all grow together, right? So it makes it a little bit more worth it to miss out on, like, sacrifice and miss out on other things when that's happening. But it's really, really hard to continue doing that when I'm missing out on all the other stuff I'm missing out on. So my thought was, I was, solely based on stats, my thought was basically, okay, let's shake it up a little bit in October. We'll do a bunch of spooky games for October, really get into the Halloween spirit, and maybe that'll like jumpstart the channel. We'll get new people in through the community, and we'll just kind of all have a great time together, right? And I also, to be honest, I was curious what it'd be like to be like a true variety streamer, like a true variety streamer, where we played we played 7 games, I think, in the month of October, which is insane for me, because I generally picked RPGs, which are longer games, and I might play 1 game every 2 months, played 7 games in 1 month. So it was kind of cool. And in case you guys are not aware, like the horror genre has like a rabid community of followers. So I thought, okay, we'll grow. We'll get some other people in here, people we wouldn't otherwise see, right? And it was awesome, super awesome. I had a lot of fun this month. It was cool to be in the spirit of Halloween for like. Inkling says, "Wow." Which part was wow? Which part? What'd I say? I'm talking so fast I don't even know which part we're all referring to anymore. And it was a lot of fun to be in that extended spirit of Halloween, I'd say. So, but it as I thought about it, and the more like I talked with the missus, and 7 games in a month, yes, I know, isn't that crazy? Like I said, we were playing, we played Mafia 3, we were playing Witcher. Witcher was an ongoing thing for like 4 months. Granted, it was only 1 day a week for that long, but I didn't even get close to finishing it on stream. I finished it twice before, not on stream, but yeah, it is insane. It was really cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it was awesome. It was awesome. So, but yeah, like it eventually did, like, probably sometime around the middle of the month, it became clear to me that like it was still going to be in my best interest, regardless of kind of what happened this month, to step away from streaming. But I wanted to finish the month out. Like, it was not going to be an option for me. I had committed to streaming for the month of October. It was not going to be an option for me to not finish the month out. So I let Hercules know, because he's kind of been my my right-hand man for a long time. So I let him know right around the middle of the month, and then basically we finished the month out, and here we are now. So LA Noire was one of my faves to watch. Oh, dude, such a good game. Such a good game. That might be a game I pick up if I do random streams. That would be a great candidate for a random stream game, I'd say. So that's pretty much the history of the channel. That's a year explained in like a 30-minute period. But basically, like, what's next for the channel, or me personally, it's basically what I said before. So if you missed the beginning of the stream, my break is going to be indefinite. I don't know that I'm going to make it back to a regular streaming schedule ever, but I'm not ruling it out. We'll put it that way. I'm not ruling it out coming back to a regular streaming schedule, but I'm also not ruling it in at this point either. So, but again, I don't plan to just vanish without a trace. I'm still going to be on Discord. My Discord server is not going anywhere. I'm still going to be on Twitter. I'm still going to be on Twitch even, actually. I'll be more of a viewer now than a streamer, but I still plan on dropping into some streams. And actually, I'm going to go through a list of people who I think you guys should check out. I'm basically just going to copy and paste a giant list of people. Well, it's not giant, but it's a list of people I think you guys should check out. And those are going to be streams that I'm in, and I'll probably retweet and say, hey, I'm in here. Let's chat together with this cool person and hang out, you know. So and again, I'm looking at doing some other things. I'm going to be getting into my freelance job a little bit more on the side. I'm going to try to do some more writing. I'm going to try to do some more video editing because I've had a lot of fun doing both of those, but they're so time intensive when you're streaming 3 times a week. It's just not possible. So I don't think I'm ever going to be like a content creator that releases things like, oh, yes, I release a video every Tuesday and an article every Monday. I don't think I'm going to be one of those types of people, but I don't know. So I hope you do stream again, but totally understand if you don't. Yeah, dude, it's been so, like, I can't explain like how much fun it's been and how, like, I feel like I've grown a lot in the last year, and a lot of it is because of streaming. So, yeah. Like, I really can't say enough good things about it. And like I said, I totally underestimated the power of Twitch and streaming and just all this stuff. And I actually, if I do get a chance to write, that's probably going to be one of the first articles I write. I'm going to write basically about how I was totally wrong about Twitch, in a good way. So, but yeah. And yes, that's pretty much all I have. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post them now. But I do want to talk about some streamers, and I'm just going to post a list of people in no particular order. But people that I can only do them one line at a time. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I can only post them one line at a time. Oh, Mr. Clockwork. Hello to you. Good sir. You've just basically joined as we're finishing up the announcement stream. Long story short, man, I am unfortunately taking a leave of absence from streaming for an indefinite period of time. I don't know when I'll be back. I don't know if I'll be back. But I am still going to be around. That's the long story short. So, I guess I have no choice because my chat app, I use the Streamlabs chatbot. It's not letting me copy these in mass, so I'm gonna have to do these line by line. So, first person I want to talk about, again, these are in no particular order. People that I think you should check out, since we're not gonna be streaming here as part-time gamer guys much anymore. I'm serious, man. I'm serious. Yeah. Sorry, dude. I know. Scavenger18, who was just chatting with us a little bit ago. One of my personal faves. He's a real cool dude. Very approachable. I think we're pretty similar as far as our sharing our love of video games and a good conversation in the meantime. So you should check him out. And like I said, he's been in this stream chatting with us many a times. And he's been one I've been frequenting quite a bit because he actually streams during the day. So I can kind of have him on in the background while I'm at work. And then I can kind of swipe over and join chat while I'm still working. So can't say enough good things about Scavenger, Scav for short. So that is the first person I'll mention. Next person is another member of that same community, Confused Anubis. I believe he's actually streaming right now. Another cool, laid-back, nice dude. I think he's got a very wide he has a very wide net of games he likes to play. So feel free to give him a look. We've got next the Giggle Panda. The Giggle Panda is actually one of the first people. He was actually the first person who ever hosted me. And general fun-loving guy. I really don't know. You are a blessing. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you. How are you doing, Alex? What's going on? Alex is another member. Alex is a member of that same crew right there. Very familiar with Confused and Scavenger. So I'm okay. How are you? I'm doing all right. Doing all right. A little bittersweet. I need it's one of those things that I have to do this. I just kind of wish I didn't have to. Who hurt you? Nobody hurt me. Nobody's hurt me. Nobody's hurt me at all. Giggle Panda, though, it was the first person who hosted/rated me. I was playing Alan Wake back in October of 2017 before I started the game club up. Fun-loving guy. That dude laughs a ton in his streams and just loves life. So check him out. And all these people, tell him I sent you too. Tell him I sent you. Let's get the puff up my chest a little bit. So I'm eating cookies for you. Nice. What kind? That is a very important question. What kind? I pretty much I don't have really cookies that I don't like, but next person is Shibuya Gaming. Shibuya Gaming is more of a party games type player. So he's played like Jackbox and some other games. He's played other things too, but he's very much into the social gaming aspect. So give that guy a look as well. Very nice gentleman. Golden Oreos. I can get on board with golden Oreos. Those are tasty. The next person we have is Grandpa Titan, who was streaming when I went live. I don't know if he still is. He is still, I think he's a relatively new streamer, but cool dude, laid back. I like his energy because it's similar to mine in that he doesn't go too crazy, but he's very easy to have a conversation with. So watch my streams too, and Mr. Clockwork. You don't stream though. Don't lie. Another person I want to point out here, or people, technically. This is not a single person's account. 16-bit review. I met these folks when I was playing Fallout. And, wait, I don't stream. Never mind. I met 16-bit review when I was playing Fallout. The original Fallout, like Fallout 1. Super nice guys from Canada. And had a pleasure talking with them. Real nice guys. I liked their deal, so I love Canada. Nice. Canada's great. I need to go to Canada. I've never been. Oh, there it is. 16-bit review right there. Yeah, Canucksiton. I don't know if I said that right. Yes, great people though. I like them. I like them a lot. Yeah, like I said, Fallout fans. So you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Awesome that they're here for that too. Welcome. Hope you guys are all right. I don't know how many of you guys are watching. Last time I saw there were 2 of you guys streaming, so I don't know if it's 1 or 2 or who all's watching, but hope you guys are doing awesome. Next person, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name. I actually don't even really have partnership isn't really the right word, but I haven't been to a lot of her streams. But the ones I have, she's very entertaining. She's a little bit more high energy than me. Well, she's a lot more high energy than me. But she's also a person that you can talk to, which is a big, as you guys are noticing, this is a part of wanting to, a part of me to endorse you is you got to be able to chat with people, right? So she's a good entertainer, so I highly recommend checking her out. Like I said, not even going to try to pronounce it, but I love talking. Oh, and Scav's back. The gang's all here. Next person is Vectors. Vectors, I'm drawing a blank on where Vectors is from. I love his accent, though. Oh my god, hi, Scav BB. But I don't know where Scav. I know where Scav's from. I can't remember where Vectors is from, but I love his accent. He's also just a super cool dude. He super laid back, very, very chill streamer. And another guy who just loves talking about video games and stuff. So give him a look. Again, these are in no particular order whatsoever. This is one of my very good friends, IRL. His name is Mike, Savage2629. And he is one of my former college teammates. If you tell him Part-Time Gamer Guy sent you, he'll probably go insane, which would be hilarious to watch because he's one of those guys that he's very... Scav is suddenly trilingual. he's one of those guys that like gets very excited. Like he'll go from 0 to 100 like that, and then he'll go from 100 to 0 like that. So it's pretty cool to watch him stream. He's more of like a popular game streamer. He streams Fortnite. He's also really good at it. From what I've seen, he streams Rocket League, another game he's really good at. So again, some of those more repeatable games, I would say. But he's, again, one of my really good friends in real life. He was actually in my wedding. So, well, sort of. He was an usher in my wedding. So, yeah. Who is Fortnite? I'm not familiar with her. I heard somebody else called it Fart Night the other day, which I'm pretty sure, like, is nothing new, but I just thought that was really funny. I don't know. Farts are pretty much always going to be funny to me. But another person I'll mention, Pool Paris, big Mass Effect fan. And I remember that when he was playing Rocket League. Yeah, dude, he gets really into it sometimes. And especially if he's been drinking a little bit too, he'll get super into it. So it just depends on his mood. But Pool Paris is a really laid-back, chill streamer who was playing Mass Effect around the time that I started following him. He's really good at using GIFs on Twitter, like really good. So there's at least that too. If you want to look for somebody else to follow on Twitter, and then we've got two that are not not in our midst. I've got a YouTuber. Chaotic Gamer Girl, also known as Emma. Emma is another day oneer. She dropped in, but we love promo. She dropped into my stream when I was streaming Far Cry 4. Once again, this was before the game club started. This was me just streaming randomly to see what it was all about. She dropped in, and basically we've been friends ever since. So we've known each other for just over a year now. Big Far Cry fan, but also she's got her own streaming deal that she does on YouTube. So give her a look. She lives in the UK, so her stream times are a lot different than mine usually. But yeah, they're like late afternoon here in the US usually. So, but she's one that you can heckle a little bit. She's pretty not troll. Let's be clear, you don't troll Emma, okay? But you can give her some crap, and she'll give it right back. She's pretty sassy. She's a treasure. She is. She's great. And then last but not least, I've got a friend on Mixer. FarFromIdle. I believe his name is Derek. His real name is Derek. Super cool dude. He's another variety streamer on Mixer. If you can stomach going over to Mixer, it's not so bad. Mixer's pretty cool. But yeah, he's a cool dude who, the cool thing about Mixer that I think other platforms could learn from is the latency. Like if you type something to FarFromIdle on Mixer, that dude will look over and see it like immediately. Like I'm saying like bam, immediately. So it's cool that you can chat like that quickly without any sort of lag. But he's a real cool dude, really interactive, and yeah. So, has anyone told you that your eyebrows are so perfect? Alex, I like having you around. Actually, I have gotten some compliments. This is not me, though. This is my barber. You can thank my barber. He's got some pretty nice... he's got some nice straight razor skills. So, yes. Thank you, though, very much. And... I tell him all. I'm like, dude, people like your work. They tell me all the time they like your work. So he really snapped. I know he does every time though. He's a good dude. He's good. He's actually the older brother of one of my former athletes that I coached. So it's pretty cool. But yeah. Okay. With that, again, all the people. I'll just run through the list of people. Scavenger 18, Confused Anubis, the Giggle Panda, Shibuya Gaming, Grandpa Titan, 16-Bit Review, that L streamer that I'm not going to pronounce her name, Vectors, Savage, Pool Paris, Chaotic Gamer Girl, and FarFromIdle. Those are some of my favorite streamers that I watch. Oh, I love sports. Track coach. It was a kid who ran track for me. So, oh shoot, I forgot to change that timer on HR Manager Bot. The question still applies. Would you stay in the RE7 house for 3 nights for $1 million? I would like to know. Dem eyebrows look thick. Thanks, Inkling. Oh, the water's back. Congratulations, Hercules. Congrats. Dude, just go chug. Chug like a gallon of water now. That's what I would do. And then just you just get in a bath full of water and just drink the whole bath. That's how you show that you're appreciative of the water being back. Possibly, maybe. I appreciate the kind words. Dude, you got it. You got it. I appreciate you, Scav. So, but yeah, dude. Anytime. Like, most likely because I need money. It would be... I mean, you're not guaranteed to make it through the 3 nights. You're definitely not getting out of there without a communicable disease. That's one thing I can guarantee you. So you have to decide, like, okay, best case scenario, I get $1 million and a communicable disease. Worst case scenario, I die and don't get any money. So there's that. It's fine. No, I'm going to soak in the tub for like 8 hours. Yes. And then drink it. That way you get your thirst is quenched and you're clean. I think that's totally how that works, right? Man. That's tasty. Uh-oh. She used the full name again. Where is she? Usually I'm in trouble when I hear the full name. I've been conditioned when I hear the full name. That's when the tail goes between the legs and crap's going down. So. Water. Actually kind of looks like hydro pump. Hercules used hydro pump. It's super effective. All right. Well, guys, that's pretty much all I had planned for tonight. This actually went a lot longer than I thought it was going to, which is no problem whatsoever. I love that all of you guys tuned in tonight. Like, makes my heart happy. And I do, like, I seriously, like, I thought about this for a long time, and I thought about, like, I know I'm not some sort of big fancy streamer, you know, or anything, but I know that's not why you guys tune in. But at the same time, like, I thought about it many times, and I'm like, am I letting anybody down? And I hope not. Like, I hope that's not the case. I don't mean to turn this deep again, but, like, I just want you guys to know, like, I've cared about, like, every person that's come into my stream who wasn't a total troll. Like, I care about you guys. So, and I'm not disappearing either. That's the main thing. That's the main takeaway. 2 things to take away. Number 1, Nick is not disappearing. Number 2, Nick loves you. Okay. If you've heard nothing else I've said tonight, let those 2 things sink in. All right. Just make sure to keep in touch. I definitely will, Hercules. You'll be hearing from me. Me directly, not my people. I don't have people. If I had people, I'd tell them to contact your people, but I'll just contact you directly. How's that? So, I love you too. Hi. Hello, Alex. As always, a pleasure being here, man. Never felt unappreciated. I am glad that's the case. Yes, all the hugs. DMs are open. Same goes. Discord DMs, Twitter DMs, whatever, they're open. So Twitch whispers are classic. I love that they're called whispers. It's like personalized ASMR. Just only that I can hear. So it works for me. All right, guys. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Seriously. At not just tonight, but any night. And like I said, keep an eye out. My Twitter is going to slow down a little bit. My Discord's going to slow down a little bit. But keep an eye out for those random stream times. And I'm also, like I said, I'm going to be sharing, if at all possible, I'm going to be sharing when I'm in somebody else's stream so that if you want to chat, we can chat and we can see somebody else who's awesome at streaming. So, yeah. All right, guys. With that, I am going to clock out for not the last time, but the last time for a little while. And I'll see you guys. Bye, 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 bye. All right, but for real, love you guys, and I will catch you guys some point soon. And so much thanks to all of you guys. Bye, Nick. We'll miss your streams, and I'll miss you, Inkling, but we'll stay in touch. Adios, amigo. Adios, mi amigo. Everybody have an awesome night and an awesome weekend, and I will catch you guys on the flippity flip. Night, guys.